Yeah.
Okay, we're recording. Welcome to the show, folks. The name's Rich Keister. Here's the other folks. Introduce yourself, gentlemen.
Oh, I'm the Slayer, the NPC Slayer, Dustin.
What's up? I'm Jeff Dixon. I don't really have a fun name, but hey, here we are. Some people call me Dix. So call me that.
And we hit the record button because we were just talking about something that we thought it was a good point to record. We were kind of shooting the shit before this a little bit. Jeff, I don't know. You were the one that asked the question, so I'll let you take the floor.
Yeah, so we got a fun day coming up. January 22nd, we got the solar awards coming. So from what I understand is that however much XRP and solo you had in your Zoom wallet, a certain amount will be granted to you. I was just wondering what you plan on doing with your profits from solo. If you plan on just buying back more XRP, I just want to see what your path is.
Personally, I'll probably just hold solo. I'll just hold it, honestly. Yeah, because it does have utility. You can like mint NFTs and stuff with it. Because unless we really start getting this bull run going again, and like some of these because got a bunch of different coins. If some of these coins start hitting crazy numbers, then it might start doing a little profit taking. But I think solo is gonna have to go pretty high for me to profit take, because like I think the supply is not too much on that. Like it doesn't have a gigantic supply, so like. Having a bag of solo is probably going to be worth a bunch in the future, like when its utility is being used, because it's on the XRP ledger, which, like, if that's going to have the regulatory clarity, the utility coins like solo to create things like NFTs, which people can't go without anymore. People need their NFTs, and if you're getting one venue, one outlet to get the NFTs, this stuff's gonna be priceless if they're using solo. Solo is one of the early ones on XRP to mint NFTs. I don't know. I'm not aware of any others. So they have the jump on this, at least on the XRP ledger. I don't know. That's just my general prediction about it all. I don't know what the time frame is for this. I don't know. I can't give you a time frame, but.
Doesn't it matter like how many people participated in the whole solo airdrop?
Yeah, I think in the end, the way to go in the end was to hold the solo, to have your XRP as solo, because I think some big XRP wallets connected to the solo thing, and I think you only got like 0.04 of a solo per XRP. I think.
Yeah, dude, I was a fucking idiot about it. I didn't even think before the airdrop. I should have moved over a bunch of my XRP over to my Zoom wallet and then just switched it back. Fucking didn't do it.
Well, like what you could have done. I mean, I don't know if it's even worth sharing at this point, but for future reference, there's a website you can go to. I think it's xrptoolkit.com or something like that. I think you're breathing into your mic, by the way, there, Jeff.
My bad, dude. I'm that guy.
Xbox problems.
Like that dude who goes after Helga G. Pataki.
So, if you sorry, if you go to this website, XRP Toolkit, you can connect your Ledger hardware wallet to the XRP Toolkit and open a trust line to solo through that. So you don't even have to put it on the Zoom wallet. You can do it through your ledger. You have a trust line to the solo without having to move it, which is what I did. And we'll see if it worked. I don't know if it worked. Like someone told me to do it like that. I was like, I think I'm doing it right. I don't know.
Yeah, fucking Zen told me like. I know that we're all part of a movement where it's like think for yourself, but I honestly just listen to whatever the fuck Zach Hammond tells me what to do.
Oh man! In terms of crypto, sometimes
everything.
Sometimes it's like it's best to trust someone who you've looked into. Maybe you've looked into I've looked into XRP. I've looked into I've done the digging on some stuff by myself, and it checks out. Some of this stuff though is just so crazy. This Canary X token I don't know if you guys got in on that drop.
Dude,
I didn't. I wish I did.
ignorant to most of this stuff. I've just been doing my thing. And
Like, I don't know. It might not even be
hold?
this coin. Like, I feel like he's going over like 4 or 5 different coins at one time. So, but there's like these certain coins. I think it's the Canary X. It could be something different, but like they changed the supply of the coin based off of something. Like, I can't even begin to tell you what the protocol. But like, it's a coin that's like up and coming, and like there's some of these coins that like were like pennies, and they're up to $100 per coin because of like this protocol.
I know. I feel like I mainly pay attention to the ones that I find to be like, I kind of FOMO into everything, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too.
But it's like, you know, he kept bringing up Solo, and I'm like, I got to do this. But then almost every other project of his, I'm like, fuck, damn it, I should have jumped in, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like the really big ones, I mean, this is probably a little conspiracy-minded here, but I feel like the really big ones, the real big gems that he finds, I feel like there's probably he probably has some opposition, some people trying to suppress the price of some of these coins because, one, they are low market cap and it doesn't take too much financial power to do so, and two, they probably are truly diamonds in the rough, and they probably saw, they're just like, no, these people can't get this coin, you know, we got to suppress this, make people sell, we need to make, like, you know, like, so. And I feel like that might be giving him too much credit. Might not be, though. That could be what happens, like with some of these really good projects that he finds. They could be suppressed because they truly are gems and they're going to take off. I don't know. I know of at least, I can name off 3 right now that he's had months, maybe even a year or so before they hit Coinbase. Like, he names these coins, and then months will go by, and then Coinbase is like, oh, yeah, by the way, we're trading Zen's coin now. And I've gotten in on all 3 of them, and it's like, if I were to throw in, like, you know, some big money, I'd have, like, some pretty good stacks, but I, you know, put, like, $200 in, and it'll turn into, like, $1,000, which is great, which is awesome, but, like, you know, it's not that story where the guy's like, yeah, you know, started with, like, 10,000 and now I'm like 100,000, you know, not quite there, but
profit.
What's
like
that?
Fucking said, yeah, you know, you make a small profit. I'm the same way where it's like, all right, let me test out this coin for like I'll throw in like $200 and then it'll peak, it'll go up, and I'm just like, oh, dude, thing's going to the fucking moon. I'm just gonna wait. And my diamond hands end up fucking stabbing me in the back.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, I guess it's good practice to not. I just don't. I honestly don't even look at the charts when I.
Early on, I feel like early on in bull runs, it's natural to just constantly be eyeing those charts and like looking for the price bump because it's, you know, it's like the same thing as like getting an adrenaline shot. It's dopamine right to the dome, you know. And I feel like in order to master those instances, those situations, you have to kind of like lose your attachment for that coin, because like I feel like a lot of these coins, a lot of these ones that are worth holding, I have this mental block where like I can't sell. It's going to keep going, you know. Everyone agrees with me, you know. Everyone thinks that it's going to keep buying it up, you know. But I'll say that there's been one time where I like made like just a trade where I'm just like, yes, I did it. And it was like right at the beginning of the bull run. And I'm like, some of these alts that were going from last time are going to go to stupid numbers coming up here. I just know. And so Ethereum Classic, I don't know if anyone has heard of that. It's not worth investing in any shape or form besides doing something like this. I bought it at the beginning of this. It was like worth like $11. I think I bought like $200 worth, and then it goes up to $200, and that's when I started selling because I didn't give a shit about this coin. I got my profits. I'm gonna like. I was like, this coin has no future. I got my money. I'm running. And
I know. I wish I got into more shit coins, to be honest, because
like at this point, I don't know if the shit coin route is like at this point in the bull run. I think people maybe, I don't know. There's going to be some, but you just can't predict them. I don't know.
100%.
I don't know if it's going to be Doge. I don't know if it's going to be EOS. Not that EOS is a shitcoin, but like it's a player from last time. So like some of these players from last time, you just feel like Neo. That's another one that I hold that like it's from last time. Like I don't have like I've got like one, but it hasn't hit its all-time high yet. And if it's still around, it's still in the top 100. You just think that maybe it still has it in it to go to that all-time high and beyond. And if it goes to the all-time high, I'm gonna make pretty good money because I bought pretty low on that.
Yeah.
But it's a casino. It's a gambling
100%
addiction.
But my only problem is they say like when people in the market are fearful, be greedy, and when people are greedy, be fearful. I'm just not fearful whatsoever.
Yeah, right.
I just
There's
I just buy a bunch of shit, and then I'm just like, all right, well, I'm not gonna look at it. I'm gonna hold, but I gotta incorporate some sort of selling into my like. That's why I said I should have got into shit coins because literally every single one of the coins that I invest in has utility, and then we end up trading sideways for like friggin' 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I gotta put like 10% of my portfolio into fucking shit coins and be
something
like,
that can have some volatility to it, hopefully in the upward direction.
Yep.
Because XLM, I love XLM. It's like a top 3 coin that you should own, but like it just doesn't move in price right now. It's just not moving in price.
No, it hasn't for the whole time I've held it. XLM's kind of a little bit like I know a couple people who aren't like conspiracy minded, and I'll talk to them about crypto and stuff, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, hold XLM."
XLM is just as brilliant as XRP. Well, I don't know really that, but like it's just as quick as XRP. It's just as quick, just as cheap, and you can actually use it. XRP you can't use on Coinbase. You can't use it half the places. So XLM is like the XRP that you can use right now. That's why I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, I hadn't looked at my crypto in months. I've got a couple shit coins, my XRP, of course, Zen, that was like a quantum. It was just a quantum like suck in and
blew the timeline like in a completely different direction by doing this.
And he brought us all together, you guys went and ran and did a little more research on it. I just intuitively was like, this guy knows what the hell he's talking about. And then, of course, being in the chat and just being able to zoom in. And Zen, we're not trying to ride off your coattail here, by the way. We just love your work.
You're just a man.
Yeah, dude, it's just amazing. And he brought a lot of people together, and he's still doing it. And it's fun through that coin and all his coins. It's pretty neat.
Dude, 100%. And I was telling Dustin last time, Keister, so first time I saw you on the round table, I was like, dude, I feel like my first thought was like so I'm kind of drifting away from crypto now and just getting all wacky on you.
That's the show. Hey.
Yeah, hey. Fucking but yeah, like I was like, oh, I feel like this kid reminds me of someone from back home, you. And I was like, who the fuck is it? Like, who does he remind me of? And then I was telling Dustin, I'm like, dude, he asked me, he's like, you want to do a podcast with Keister? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, you know what? Like, you know how like time isn't real and like everything has already happened or just is happening, and our concept of time just like isn't what it really is.
Right.
I was like, you know what? It's not that he reminded me of someone that I knew. It's just that I would be talking to him in the future, and I fucking had no idea.
Your intuition was telling you that's a guy you're going to connect with someday.
Exactly. So
here we are.
Cheers to you. And here we are.
Cheers.
It's fucking good to be here. Sorry, Dustin. I can't say I felt like I knew you, but I was like, this kid's the man.
Hey, we're here now. I mean, that's the concept of time in the moment. We all got drawn here, and it's pretty cool. Just
fuck yeah.
I mean, just the circumstances of all of it. Memes, like just memes and cryptocurrency and Instagram. Like the one thing we're trying to fight against, this thing, we're having to use it to bring everybody in. It's kind of ironic.
It sucks. Keister, were you much of a poster before you started your account? Did you ever use social media? Because me and the Slayer over here fucking didn't even really touch it. Like, I never put my opinions online or nothing. But then once I saw them using it as a weapon, kind of against us, I was like, all right, dude, like, enough. I'm stepping in here.
I'll say that I was a Redditor. I've been on Reddit since I was in college, and I hated it back then. I'll say, like I've hated the Reddit narrative since college. But just the way my mind works, I just like going into a comment section, they post a link to somewhere. You know, everyone knows how Reddit works. You go into the comment section, you can comment on people, you can downvote them. You know, it's great. Downvoting is great. So even when it happens to you, it's great.
Yeah, I didn't get in on that movement, and it all kind of turned opposite before I got to be a Reddit person, so I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, but Reddit was pretty much, and it's anonymous on Reddit, so like I, could go into like these threads where they would clearly be pushing an agenda, clearly be spitting propaganda at us, and I would like go in the comment section, I'm like, does no one blatantly see that this is propaganda?
I know.
And people would be like, what are you talking about? Redditors, right? Whatever.
So many bots.
Let's not bring up the NPCs, right, Slayer?
Oh man, these people, dude, it is amazing how snappy they are. Just about.
So, do you actually think that some people just don't exist?
It's a hard concept, like,
dude.
I'm with you. No, I've entertained the idea before. I'm like, this guy just isn't even there, huh?
It's weird that you say that. I don't know what you mean by saying that, but twice in the last week, I've seen when I was driving out, when I was just driving out and about, I've just seen, when I was watching traffic, I've just seen like these just near miss accidents where this car's turning, making a left turn out in front of this car going perpendicular. And like this car has plenty of room to see that this car's like turning in front of it and slow down. Doesn't slow down in any shape or form. And like they're going like, this is like in like a maybe 35 zone. So like I can get a look at the driver as they're driving by. Just nothing. The driver's just like driving like nothing. Like these people are like nearly colliding and they're just not even reacting to it in any shape or form. Like maybe there's some people that don't exist.
I'm telling you, man, people are losing it on the roads right now. Like it's just the traffic, people flying around, like no one's getting pulled over and everyone's going like 100 miles an hour. I'm like, I can't tell if people are actually going through an existential crisis that involves having consciousness or if they're just not even fucking there at all.
Yeah, it's just they've got like tunnel vision. I think like their point of view, they don't understand there's a world going on around them. They just like have their own and it just blows my mind. Some people don't have an inner voice in their head that they can talk to.
You got to credit it from the get go, the education system, right? Because they're training your mind to not pay mind.
Yeah, don't be creative. Don't
talk about that all day.
Yeah,
right.
Don't be creative.
I think we all
think.
could.
Just repeat shit. Repeat shit. Go to work. Repeat life.
I bet we'd do that in another episode. We'll go over our hatred for this education system we got.
Dude, I'm down. The education system fucked me.
Yeah,
I think we all can probably relate to that. But I feel that's why I feel like we should dedicate an episode to it because like we could go into like what we really think.
Oh yeah. I'm starting to feel the NPC triggers of my own were starting to go there.
Yeah, right. But one of the things that you were bringing up before, like the thing that inclined me to hit the record button was, Jeff, you were talking about like, what's the exit strategy for, just to bring it back to crypto real quick. I feel like I gave you like my answer a little bit, but I'm kind of interested in your guys' answer a little bit as well. Like, do you guys have an exit strategy for prices? Or like, I've told you that like I'm planning on maybe getting like 1 or 2% of my like XRP portfolio, or I'd say my total portfolio, like 1 or 2% of it, I'd plan on, having projects in mind and, get my money, collect my money for those projects. And maybe it's going to be a little more like, depending on how important the project is. It might be more than 1 or 2%, but like, you know, everything that I take out, there's going to be a goal for it. It's going to be put to use right away. You know, I'm not going to have it sit. But yeah, and that's pretty much my answer. The price points that it's going to hit, maybe around $10 for XRP, but you know, there's also alts, so you got to kind of play it by ear. Anyways, not to take over. What do one of you guys like? What's your exit strategy?
So I don't really have much of an exit strategy when it comes to XRP only. I mean, like with my whole portfolio, if some go up, then, you know, I'll chop off like 10% off the top. But mostly, like I said before, I'm invested in a lot of coins with utility that I think are going to play a big role in the quantum financial system. And I think that, you know, XRP goes kind of along with the 17 plan. And I've seen, you know, I don't know if you've seen that meme, but it's like picture of Morpheus in Neo, and Neo's like, wait, so you're saying like, you know, I could be a millionaire if I sell all my XRP when it moons or something. He's like, when, I'm telling you that at some point you won't have to sell.
You won't have to.
Yeah, and that's kind of like where I'm at mentally with XRP. Sure, you know, I'll probably chop off 10% if we see like a big gain, but I don't think that XRP is going to go up slowly. I'm one of those flip the switch guys where I think that the system's going to need to be pumped with liquidity after we experience a huge stock market crash. Our economy blows up, and I think that I'm just holding most of mine until I see a lot of big gains.
You're just so nonchalant about it. Stock market's going to go to zero. Economy's going to crash. It's going to be cool, though.
Yeah, and I'm just going to be fucking ripping and roaring, ready to go. Everyone else is going to be freaking out. I'm going to be walking down my street just in tactical gear. It's like, let's fucking get it, baby.
Yeah, well, I'm even more nonchalant.
I'm giving away too much.
Yeah. Well, I'm even more nonchalant in my exit strategy. I'm just kind of running on intuition here. Just I hold a bunch of coins that, you know, Zen and everybody kind of pointed toward, and did a little research on some of them. Most of them, I just kind of, you know, leap of faith on them. And
yeah, I know a lot of Kangs like that. It's like I got a buddy of mine. It's like, yeah, he holds it, but you know, it's like you just lift weights, shoot guns, and then by the time it friggin' moons, you're just gonna be like, oh, sweet, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And that right there is why these people are like why these like lawmakers, regulators, money makers, all of them, why they're being pretty much strangle-held into making this happen, because the more we accumulate, the less they have. So if they prolong this, like, you know, for every day they prolong this, we are accumulating. We're taking away their share of the whole market, and it's pretty cheap right now. So yeah, it's kind of like something where they're a race against like their control and their money. Like, so they're trying to find out like how they can find the perfect balance of like retaining their control and retaining as much money as they can. So good luck to them. It's not my job.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of been like the ultimate cozy tool for us, I think, too, is like knowing what this is going to do and what it's capable of, and knowing that we hold it and we're just sitting back.
We're never going to stop. We're never going to stop buying it.
Yeah, it's just a nice peace of mind.
And there's only that fixed amount, you know. People think it's a really large number, so I'm not even going to say it, but in the grand scheme of things, the entire human population can only own, I think it's like 17. What are the odds? They can only own about 17 XRP each.
Yeah.
If you were to divide the amount of XRP by humanity, you know, we can only have about 17 each.
So, like, my question is, I've heard somewhere that the Rothschilds are invested in XRP. I've seen the documents before too.
That's fine. Like,
right,
they're going to try and do their evil.
Dollars. Why don't they just buy all of it?
Because it's going to put the price to. Because like, think about it like this: those people that are holding it, they don't. It's not on the market. That's not for sale. That XRP is not for sale. It's never going to be for sale. It's never like so they can't have all the XRP because it's not for sale. Some of it's just not
Right.
for sale. So
Yep.
in order to acquire all the XRP, you'd have to hop onto each exchange that sells it and buy all the buy orders for those exchanges, let people
Yep.
put in new sell orders, buy those up, let people put in new sell orders, buy those up, and that's kind of how I think it's going to go, because I think they're going to try and take all the XRP and just keep raising the price, and eventually, hopefully, people get it. Don't fucking sell.
Don't do it, ladies and gents.
Getting
This is
by.
not financial advice.
Like I don't see the just get a big gain. Like the world's going by, just living right now. Things are cozy. I mean, it is crazy shit going on in the world, but if you got the right state of mind right now, you're just living in the living in time right now. I'm not worried.
It's been great, honestly. Like I'm getting back into blue collar work, so just like a little background on me. I'll try and keep it short, but I
Take
worked
the floor.
basically all like blue collar my whole life. Like started out in college working for a tent company, building like large scale tents. Kind of got me to like understand labor and hard work. I mean, I had always worked with my father and stuff, and played football, wrestling. Like I understand hard work, but like actual blue collar hard work. Got into that, and then I started doing carpentry, windows, sprinkler fitting, and then I had to use my college degree, so I got into sales, and I did that basically for 4 years. And when we got sent to COVID, I worked for a company that, let's just say, their practices for monitoring us were a little bit Mickey Moused when they sent us to work from home, and unfair, and we didn't sign any documents. And I was like, dude, you know what? Like, I'm so done with this like technocratic bullshit going on. And I'm getting back into blue collar, and I'm just kind of living, man. I'm like, I used to be like, oh, I have to make like this amount of money, and XRP's kind of giving me that pillow to just be like, chill out, dude. Like, fucking calm down. Because I was just always like grinding, and now I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna work for a company that I trust, that I know, and I'm just gonna keep living life and just being cozy, And one of these days, like, everything that I want is gonna be here, because I'm gonna bring that into reality. And honestly, like, I've worked on myself. I lift once, maybe if the body's feeling it, sometimes twice a day, and I feel like I've like just kind of made myself ready for this moment to be able to, do hard, honest work, and then just throw it all into XRP and other coins that have utility.
You're not the only one I hear like that has a story similar to that. Like, I've got another buddy who, he might jump on the show at some point, but I'll leave him nameless for now. That like pretty much like, got his initial XRP bag and then started like jumping back into work, and then he's just been like, his XRP bag is like 10 times the amount it was when he like started. So like, I feel like he's like exceeding his goal and like going beyond it at this point, which is awesome to see. Like, this is exactly what needs to happen. Like, people need to set these goals for like, how big do you want your bag to be? Like, beat that number,
Yep.
I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
Eventually, it's just going to be like, because the price is such a good price right now, it could go lower, but like, $1 buys you more than an XRP right now, which I think is lovely,
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, I
It is.
go up to like $1.94. Back almost 8 months ago.
all-time,
Up. I was like, it'll never be under $1 again. And here we are.
Yeah, we were wrong.
right? That's how bull runs work. But the all-time high is like 314 or something like that, and we haven't even gotten close to there yet. I know that it's being suppressed by the lawsuit and all that. It probably, I've been saying this from the get-go. Like, XRP had a higher market cap than Ethereum at one point during the last bull run in 2017. It was like, there was no competition. Like, there's no competition with Bitcoin, first of all, but there was no competition with Ethereum and XRP. They were always hand in hand at 2 and 3. Nothing else was even coming close to those two. And it was that way literally until the lawsuit, and then XRP just fell. And if you ask me, if that lawsuit didn't happen, the amount of development that XRP's had, the amount of banks that have signed on since the lawsuit, like XRP has had, just as promising of news as, like, if you're looking at the present time, it's had just as promising of news as Ethereum, because Ethereum has like NFTs and all this like hype around it right now, so that's why it's very successful right now. XRP is no different. XRP should be hand in hand with Ethereum in terms of market cap, which would put it around like $5 right now, or maybe even more than that at this point. But I think it put it a lot more than that, because last time I checked on that, I don't know. Anyways, the lawsuit has seriously thwarted the price, which maybe is a headache for some people, but if you're still accumulating, it's a blessing. It truly is, and you should be still accumulating. So it's a blessing. It really is.
It is. Yeah, like if it wasn't for the lawsuit, I probably never would have. Like right when the lawsuit happened was when it dropped down to what, 21 cents?
21 cents, dude. It was an act of God. It was.
I had never even heard of it up until like literally that point. I like started following Zen like right then, and I was just kind of, just like any other Anon account, just like swiping through people's stories. And by like 5 days of just him like screaming XRP at me in his stories, I was like, all right, I got to look into this stuff. And yeah, I bought in at 21 cents. And if it wasn't for the lawsuit, like who knows if I would have ever even bought as much as I did.
Right. No, none of us would have. The bag that I accumulated when it was at 20 cents was like the bulk of my bag, I'd say. I'd say, yeah. I mean, I'll admit that I was buying some when it was like in like the $1.50, $1.60 range, but
so was I.
Yeah. So, but I'm still up overall. But anyways, that's like sometimes I buy crypto just strictly because of hype. I'm just like, I'm hyped, I'm buying, I'm celebrating. I'm like, when you celebrate, you buy things. So I'm gonna buy crypto in celebration, whatever.
The more you learn, you want to buy.
Yeah.
Once you get like arm yourself with the knowledge of how useful XRP is, all you want to do is buy more. It doesn't even matter the price. You go and learn something else about it. You see another connection. You connect another dot. Like it could be up at $1.97 and you learn something new. You're just like, oh my God, dude, this coin's so awesome.
I'm buying $200 worth. Yeah. Yeah. We're sitting at about 33 minutes right now for an episode. I don't know how long we're trying to keep these episodes. Right, last time we did it at right about 40 minutes, we cut it off. So we could do like a 10-minute warning.
Hell yeah. Sounds pretty
down for whatever.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Next, Todd, should we get into the questions then there, Dustin?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I don't even know if anybody else came in on it. I'll check and see. But, I mean, XRP, we covered that. People want to know about XRP.
We sure did.
We got that one covered.
Well, maybe we didn't cover it. Like, why is XRP the chosen currency? It's because they had, like, I think I did mention that, they're signing on all the banks, small banks, big banks. They got Bank of America. They got London banks. They've got banks. They got oil money. They've got who was it? Saudi Arabia, I think it was. They got Japan.
There's a specific name of like the group of banks. I forget. like it's like some initiative, but
yeah,
I can't remember the name of it. But it's like all the group, Bank of America and all like these banks. So XRP is the only one.
Yeah, yeah, and on top of that, look at. Sorry, I keep getting texts. On top of that, you have the ISO 20022 coins. I don't know exactly how people are saying that, but you just Google that, and that's these cryptos that are like universally compliant. Like all the banks are agreeing, like, yeah, these are going to be cryptos that are compliant with how we run things. And XRP is like front, and it's like at the top of the list of most of these like categories that they're going to be involved in. Like this crypto will be used for like it'll be like Algorand is used for this and this, and like XRP is like checking all the boxes that like it's going to be used everywhere. You know, it's the cross border payment system,
and it's completely decentralized because it's not owned or governed by a central party.
Right. It wasn't issued. It just existed. Like when you issue coins, you can you can halt accounts. Like you have control over that coin. This wasn't issued. This was the coins just existed when it started. There wasn't an initial coin offering on it. Yeah, and it's non-fungible. Like you can't stop someone from sending XRP. You can't stop someone from receiving XRP. Banks have worked out things within them because sometimes there's like legal issues with that. So banks have protocols that they've worked out amongst themselves where they can accept the XRP if it gets sent to them. But
and isn't there this kind of counters that whole idea, and it's something that I kind of want to understand a little bit more. But isn't there going to be some sort of mechanism, say that XRP does turn into the currency the global currency that we do use? I've heard that there's going to be a way where we're going to be able to limit, what our government does with its money, and it's going to be more public. So how is our, transactions going to remain private? But how are we going to be able to make the governments public?
So every transaction on a blockchain is transparent. It's like everything can be looked up on a blockchain. So every transaction is recorded. It's a matter of pinpointing what the wallets are. So if your wallet is private, if it's not a public wallet, if no one knows what wallet people can guess, they might think it's your wallet, but if it's not something that you've made public, there's no way of really saying whose wallet is whose,
Right.
The government can be legally required to tell you what their wallet is, so people can see all the transactions that this government is doing, where all the money's going, how they're receiving all the money that they're receiving, who they're receiving it from, making sure that it's all going to the right spaces, make sure it's all getting allocated to the right things, It
solves all of our fucking problems right there.
Yeah. So as long as you don't share your wallet address, and if it does get discovered, there's ways to hide it. If you guys want to know that, I guess you can reach out to me. But that's pretty much it. If you reveal a wallet, then you can look everything that wallet is doing. And that's what the government will be required to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, I've had plenty of fucking questions. Do you have anything else written down that you want to bring up there, Slayer?
No, man. We hit the crypto hard. I think some people are wanting to get some health and God and Jesus in there too. That's kind of what my page has turned into here.
Here's some advice: believe in God.
Yeah, that's it's good and evil. Lines are getting drawn right now, and it's just it's interesting to see, and people are looking for something.
You can logically, and this is just how my brain works, and I think there's I'm not the first one to think of this. It's some theory, but the penalty of believing in God and practicing, teachings of Christ or whatever, there is no penalty. You make if anything, it's good. It's we want people to be like that. The penalty of not believing in God could be nothing, but it also could be damnation.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not saying it's a 50-50 shot, but there's a chance that you could have eternal damnation if you don't believe in God. I like the chances of just on a whim, if you're a logical person that's there's no logical reason. Well, here's your logical reason. Might as well, because the penalty of believing in God is no penalty. penalty of not believing in God potentially could be what they're saying, you know. And if you're doing it for the sake of, you know, being against that, then, you know, whatever.
Well, it's like I seen a video recently of atheists, or like he asked, you know, atheist or somebody, like, you know, if this was true, would you believe it? No. And like, well, obviously at that point it's a moral thing. It's not a logic.
Exactly. Like sometimes people just want to rage against a machine, and religion might be that machine. I'm sorry that that's the hill you chose to die on.
I was watching Usual Suspects last night for the first time. But they say, like, there was a quote in it that really got me too, because there was times where I didn't believe in God, but he says, like, I don't believe in God, but I fear God. And that's kind of how I've always been, up until I really started believing in him, until I, like, you know, felt the love. And it kind of sucks, you know, for me, because I really started believing in God when I found out how profound the Bible is, how profound of a book it is. And, you know, like, I've always been really super interested in, like, consciousness and time and particle physics and, you know, what constructs our reality. And they're coming up with a lot of things that point to that. Yeah, we do have a God, like the Higgs boson, the Higgs field. They call it, like, the God particle. That's what I forget the particle physicist's name is, but he was on Lex Friedman. And you know, there's just, they say with science, at say science is a tall glass of water. The first 100 sips that you take, there's no God, but the last sip that you take, there is God. And I feel like I kind of did a lot of investigating into, like, science and, you know, the construction of our reality to bring me closer to God. It wasn't like a Bible thumper jamming it down my throat and, you know, being like, you should fear it. That you're, you know, there's going to be total damnation if you don't believe in God. Like, I had always feared it, but I kind of had to piece some things together in my own mind, and then kind of see a lot of the teachings in the Bible and read the Bible to be like, you know what, all of this stuff really does make sense.
Yeah, so what somebody kind of asked too was like, you know, I'm not this, I'm not that. And I'm like, man, that's one of the things about that Bible is, like, I grew up in a church as a child, grew up knowing about it, got out of that, kind of went and dabbled in other things, of course, like psychedelics and things of that nature. And of course, all of a sudden, what's the universe? And, oh, we're insignificant. We're nobody. And then here late, you know, I just picked up that Bible when all this stuff started happening, you know, 2019, grabbed it. Revelations was calling, you know. It wasn't, I hadn't followed or, you know, went to church in years, but that Bible was sitting in my dresser, and it was like, hey, come pick me up. Yeah. And then I read it, and then still kind of, you know, left it and like, oh, that's interesting. But of recent coming back, I mean, this is like the 17 drops, basically. You can go in there and see present day stuff going on in that book right now. And it's just profound. And, you know, you just talk to Jesus. I grab that Bible, just be like, hey, what do you got for me? And that thing won't disappoint.
It changes your day. If you start out your day with, like, you taught me to do that, or at least you're like, yeah, this is what I've been doing, just opening up a random page. And I feel like every time I fucking do that, it is just exactly what I need to hear with the current circumstances of my life. And I'm just blown away with it. And I just drive around, walk around all day with a fucking huge smile on my face. So much better. Life's so much better.
It's crazy because before we even got on, I was talking to Keister here. We were saying, I went to the gym earlier. I ran into one of my buddies. He's just having a rough time in life, you know, he's like, man, I hadn't slept in a long time, just down and out. And he's telling me about his situation. And I was like, hey, man, look at this. Like, it just, as soon as it clicked in my head, like, I posted this verse on my story earlier because he don't have Instagram or anything. So I was like, he goes, what is it? I said, man, I posted a verse for today. Look at this. He's like, dude, he said, I never even thought to pick up the Bible. He's like, I appreciate that. And I'm like, man, that's just Jesus working. He puts you in the right place. If you believe that you're in the right place at the right time all the time, you're in the right place at the right time. Like, we're here doing this now for whoever's watching this right now, and hopefully it speaks to you. You know, you don't have to have some boat, some church, some just grab the Bible. He'll come find you in your spirit if you got it, if you're willing to hear it, feel it.
Hey, I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time now, so I'm sure we've hit, some people, we've helped them hit home with some of the stuff that we've said.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to bring this stuff up. Is what's amazing is like we've been so like the bots, the NPCs, like these commenters that come on and they have no meaning in life as far as from your perspective or our perspective of what we're sharing. We're trying to bring positive things out into the world, and we're not trying to get a rebuttal out of anybody. We're just trying to motivate people. Yeah. But these people come and attack and bring you down, and that's when you know.
It's like a forbidden language. Talking about Christ is like a forbidden language. It's fucked. Like some of the people that some of my friends are just like, oh, I'd like to know what that guy's thoughts are on like if you like a scientist, for example. Me and my buddy were talking about a scientist. He's like, I wonder what that guy thinks about God. Like if God's real. I'm like, why? Do you think he is? He's like, no. Like fucking people are idiots if they think that God's real. It's like, dude, well, it's either one or the other. Mm-hmm. Like you're treating it as if it's impossible for God to exist. I've never looked at it that way, but I mean that's just me.
Yeah, I mean I've been all over the spectrum of it. Like the whole we're just a big speck, insignificant Big Bang. We're part of the universe. We're all, but at the same time we're all one. And we all. I think that's what a lot of us Anons seem to have that pattern. Like we went and we've seen all the different perspectives, and now we're like, hey, this one intuitively clicks. There's no question. As far as my personal relationship with Jesus, God, the Bible, Holy Spirit, all that, like I'm sound with it. I don't really go to church or have a denomination to claim or anything. I'm just grabbing the Bible, and I feel good about it. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or whoever's on the other side of this, pixels we're putting out here for everybody. Like, just get right with what's in you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
I guess I haven't really given my.
Yeah, go off.
Guys. Your guys' stories are brilliant. They're beautiful. That was beautiful there, Dustin. But my story, just to do a spark notes of it, I was raised in a church going household as well, and I always knew that this isn't something like I'm a rebel at heart. I've always raged against the machine my whole life. Ever since I went to 2 preschools, because I went to after the first day of preschool. I don't, obviously remember, but my mom told me that like they tried to enforce a rule on me. So like I took a toy and threw it at a kid's face because I was ticked off. So yeah, like I said, I've hated school systems from the get-go, but I've hated the machine from the get-go. So I don't know, but also for some reason I knew that church wasn't something to push back against, because like I'm a guy about logical inconsistencies. That's why I could never be on the left, because there's too many logical inconsistencies there. There's logical inconsistencies on the right, but there's a lot more on the left. Anyways, I just kind of like learned to kind of maybe not ignore, but just take the good with the bad for what church is. Church is not all, it's not 100% great, but you gather people together in the name of God, in the name of Christ, and there's something good that happens. If they believe, if the collective that you're with has that belief and that, that power among them, then I think that that's a good thing that's happening. Anyways, fast forward to college, and I think the colleges are literally designed to take God away from people.
Yep.
I think that college towns are like evil and shit. Like you have these fraternities that are doing rituals. They might not know that they're evil rituals, but they're doing rituals. They could be evil. So anyways, I'd say that like leading up to college, it was more of a practice, and like I'd say it was reaffirmed, but it wasn't confirmed. And then when I get to college, you know, I witnessed evil. You know, I witnessed evil, and I was like, this is evil. This means the devil's real. And I was like, if the devil's real, this is confirmation for God. Yeah. Like, this is confirmation.
Great point.
So, I guess my belief was cemented when I found evil, and all, like, not to get into it too much. The group of friends I was with, we were striving to be comedy writers, and comedy tends to thrive when you're in low points, which is evil.
Yeah.
So. That's kind of how we found evil, was trying to become as funny as we possibly could. And then I was like, this is too evil for me. God's real. And I kind of started creeping back into, I'd say that once we got to the 17 movement, that's when it started being practiced, but it was confirmed in college.
Dude, it's so crazy that you say that, because I was literally gonna say that. During my whole last monologue, I said it sucks, but and then I trailed off into something else. But what I was gonna say is that I like really found God when He showed me that the devil was real. Yeah. And what I was gonna say is that to me it kind of sucks that like I didn't just find God through His love alone. He had to show me that, you know, the devil's real, and you know that there are very evil people running our world, for me to be like, all right, well, there's got to be another side. Yeah. You know, like as above, so below, right? There's got to be a counterbalance here, and that's when I really started to see it too, when I saw the evil.
Right. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to set the record straight about. I think that comedy overall is good, but I think that a lot of comedians have found were in their funniest when they were at their lowest, and. I don't know. I don't know. There's got to be, you know, I also think that you can be funny when you're at your happiest. And I have been my funniest at my happiest, I feel like. So my personal goal is not to find comedy through evil anymore. I've been there, done that, not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's one of the things, you know, that I'm glad you said that, is like my page, as far as spreading Jesus, like they've made it hard because all these NPCs are programmed to attack. Oh, he wasn't that color. Like they pick it apart. Like, take the message. That's all like we're trying to do out here, is just spread the message. Mm-hmm. Quit this bot mentality where everything's got to be, you know, how the system is programmed.
It's got to fit their program. It's got to fit their programming. And if it doesn't,
they skits out and they
glitch. They glitch on you.
And then they could actually honestly be bots.
Say that again.
Well,
they could actually just be bots. Like literally, it could be some like bot farm, like of a bunch of FBI's trying to convince you that God isn't real, because that was their assignment for the day. You know,
it doesn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me anymore.
How are we gonna get this fucking autistic kid to stop believing in God?
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts because they pop up, and then on rare occasions, every once in a while, I'll give them some energy, and I'll be like, I'll start a conversation. Like, try to pick this. I mean, if I'm going to claim NPC Slayer, once in a while I got to get in there and, you know, pick somebody up.
NPCs.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just start asking questions. It's like, all right, you know, one of them, I'm like, okay, you proved to me you're a real person. Like, you live a life, but you have a tunnel vision of what life is. Like, you're not ever going to agree with me. I'm tired of commenting and going back and forth with you because you will spread your infinite opinion into this void of space because you know you'll never meet me in person. That's what has gotten so wrong, I think, as far as like where we're at now, is the left has projected their shit on us and we don't comment back much. I mean, we did. I know there's trolling. I wasn't big in the trolling movement because, of course, wasn't a big social media guy back in the day, but now that I see it, I'm like, you're all idiots, man. Like,
yeah, for me personally, it's like I've been there, done that on Reddit. If I have someone come in on Instagram, pretty much I just try to give them well wishes and send them on their way, you know. Literally because I've been there and done that on Reddit so much. I've spent way too much time arguing endlessly, probably with bots. So I'm
Dude,
just over. I've moved past that. I feel more. I feel more zen now. Yeah, it's out of my system. I'm not saying that it's completely out of my system. I might creep back from time to time, but I'm not nearly as motivated to slay these NPCs as I used to be.
honestly, the fucking doomers piss me off more than, I shouldn't say piss me off. Just kind of, I roll my eyes more at like Republican, like who believe in like the two-party system. I roll my eyes more at those doomers than I do at the brainwashed left, because I understand that the left, all those people, I feel so bad for them, man. They just don't know what's going on.
Right.
Like they just have zero idea what's going on. They've never truly questioned their reality. They've been forced by the narrative. They take it in, and they're victims of this fucking evil programming. You know, and like I can't, like, some of my buddies, man, who are like Republicans, they're just like, they almost like get mad at me for being hopeful.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm just like, dude, like,
And
you
not
need
to take away from your point, but I do recognize that there are some people that have come on tough times, and you know, whether or not it's ever granted to be a doomer, if some people, I feel like some people have more of a right to, that have come on hard times, to say, you know, this sucks. I want something to be done now. You know, like there are some people where it's granted, but you know.
I'm part of that category. This does suck, and I want something to be done.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. But and I feel like some people, like, just like, I've heard some really, you know, sad stories of people that, like, you know, I've had to quit my, you know, people have lost jobs, people have had to change their whole way of living, and that's unfortunate that it's touched your life in that way. You know, not that I'm talking to anyone specific, but you know, I just don't know if that gives you a reason to say, like, to become a doomer. You know, that I feel like one of the things that you were talking, Dustin, was like, what's masculinity? I feel like part of masculinity is not being someone who thinks that there's no more hope. You are a freaking man. Like, get up in the morning and do some freaking work, make something of your life. Like it's you know, it's your job to pretty much, like, as a man, you know, our bodies are vessels for work. You know, like, if it's you know, if it's time to go to freaking war and use your body as a meat shield, you're a man. Go be a meat shield. You know.
Yep.
I mean, even in the way that I kind of see it is, like, as far as getting back into the Bible, is this is your temple. Like I said, I don't go to church regularly or anything, but this is my temple. I take care of this. I praise God through this thing, and I take care of this thing in what I see fit and what, you know, manner I need, as far as health, putting it through physical abuse, keeping it tuned, keeping the mind tuned. It's all a big temple here. Mm-hmm. It's all the Holy Spirit, all of it. Like, tune into it. Stop looking at the world outside. Yeah. Like,
that's a little better of advice than mine, honestly.
Well, I mean, it all plays into the same thing, you know. Yeah. Like, you know that the struggle comes with good. There's an equal and opposite reaction to everything. So if the struggle's coming in, know that the good is on the other side.
Exactly. Like, I you know, I'm no stranger to tough times myself. I've dealt with some very tough times myself. You know, I get out of it, and I, you know, it makes you so much more thankful for just the times that aren't tough. You know, when you have truly nothing, like those tough times have passed, and you're fine after. Everything's fine. No one's dead. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm not speaking personally. No one's died as a result of my tough times. So, like, you know, I'm very thankful for the not tough times. You know.
Yes.
I mean,
and we're all thankful for the tough times too, man. Because, like, what would you rather be, some trust fund baby who hasn't experienced any hardship? Those are, if you want to talk about an NPC, that's a fucking NPC. You know, like, and I'm not saying they don't have consciousness and they don't exist, but they just don't know struggle, and they don't know the beauty in the world once you climb out of that dark hole.
Yeah, that's a pattern I've noticed earlier. So I kind of went over the page, kind of see things we need to cover. and masculine posts about masculinity and being a fucking man just in general. There's no, I'm not trying to start an argument or anything with you, but those are the ones that trigger these people. And they attack it because, oh, you must be an egotistical idiot. Like, no, man, like that. Go deeper into my history. I used to be almost 300 pounds, overweight, McDonald's eating fat bastard. Like just slob, sloth, gluttony, all that shit, without knowing it. Like that's what it was. And now that I see what it was, I mean, pharmaceuticals. I was on, antidepressants for breathing issues and stuff. Like I've been in tough struggle times. And now that I see that, it all leads to this, like take care of yourself.
The way I see masculinity is like it's foundational. Like you said, if you need Kaiser, if you need to go off to war and be a meat shield, be a fucking meat shield. Like I really like, I think the true essence of masculinity is being a foundation, and then like women and children are like the art that you build on that foundation. Even down to the physicalities. Like our bodies are like foundational, and then women's bodies are like fucking pieces of art. And it's like, we have femininity in us, like even as men. And I feel like that, I'm huge into digital video editing and stuff, and I'm a super creative guy. But I think, what's most important first is making the strong foundation, tuning into my masculinity. And then, all of that other creativity stuff comes, later. And it all comes out more once I've built like a strong foundation of being a fucking man,
Exactly. Like there are some men with brilliant minds, but if that guy is just sitting at a desk and using the mind all the time and not putting that body to work, not doing something with himself, he's hindering himself. Because when you go out and, do something physical, get a workout in, like you just like your mind goes into like a different mode where you can accomplish more than you were before. You can.
And I think that part of it too, as far as masculinity, is you're in the world. If you think that you are not a non-player character and you are out here to do something, if a need arises, an emergency arises, don't you want to be physically fit to play that role in life? Like to go help somebody, not just to be another person, a passerby. Like if you're physically and mentally capable to help somebody with a mental issue, somebody with a physical issue, go experience things, learn for yourself so you can go pass this to other people. And I think a lot of us have done that. Like we've learned a little bit of everything. And now we're here trying to like, hey, we're in position now. We're cozy. We got our XRP. We got our shit. Our, as far as people attacking us and all this stuff, we don't care. Here's some knowledge. Here's some wisdom. Help your fellow man. Help your fellow brother.
It's kind of the reason why we convened in the first place, because, we know some things, we want to share it. I don't live a perfect life. I'm a sinner just like every other man, but the pieces come more and more together as as they come more and more together. Like you get it more figured out, and like you just kind of like find this narrow path that they keep talking about. And
yeah,
we're trying to share what our journey to get to this narrow path is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're on the jet stream here, and we're like, "Hey, get in here with us. We're
we're not jumping out. We're not jumping off.
Y'all think we're crazy schizos and all this weird stuff, whatever this thing is they call it. Like I don't even like know a lot of it, but it's like that schizo is the Holy Spirit or Jesus talking through you. Like he's telling you, like act, go on intuition. Like I seen your video. Like the whole reason we started this, I'm watching your video. I'm like, man, he's talking like I could be there in that video and like help him, further his knowledge onto us if
right.
Ideas are bouncing.
Yeah.
We've been bouncing ideas, like you said, I don't know, that might have been pre-record where you're talking about how we're all painting a picture and we're looking at each other. That's our style.
Yeah.
And we're looking like we've all been just looking at each other's profiles like, man, he shares good stuff. He shares good stuff. But I think now, like, we just like need to come together and talk, like get real ideas out. Like I think we got a hell of a lot more info out in this last, hour that we've been running now, probably. Than
hour 4 minutes.
Most of our stuff we've been sharing.
Yeah, this is this episode's gone on for an hour 4 minutes. So, I mean, yeah, everything you said, I think was like great note to honestly close it on. Unless you guys like, I think we could come up with some final comments here.
Yeah. I mean, I could talk to you guys forever, but hour and 4 minutes is long.
I know that you were saying, Dustin, about how people like, they see the hour plus and they're just like, I don't know if I want to watch it. Some people will watch this episode. We'll try and cut it for next one. It's our first episode, we're still getting the hang of it. But
yeah, put some clickbait on it as far as title, maybe a stupid fucking picture, and we'll bring you in.
We'll tag Zen.
There you go. Zen, share shit, please.
No. But yeah, I think that's a good point to end the episode. Should we give maybe our social media, way to find us on social media, and probably end it on that? I guess I can start. I'm pretty much on Instagram strictly. My username is Rich, RICH Keister. I don't care how you pronounce it. Keister. Keister. Rich.Keister.
Slayer.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. Basically, that's kind of my command hub there. I've got other things, but that's where we operate. NPC.Slayer. And that's it.
Yeah, so I just have a personal page. It's J_Fuggin, FUGGGIN. And yeah, it's a private account. Just request to follow me. It's still, it's just me at the end of the day. My goal is if I can change one person, I can change, they can go off and change a bunch of people. I'm not trying to be a celebrity or anything or one of these big anon accounts. I don't give a fuck. I just want to change people who are willing to change. I don't want to change anyone, you know what I mean? But I just want to impact anyone who's interested in hearing what I have to say. So God bless y'all.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. You speak for all of us, I feel like, Jeff. If you can make one impact, that's enough.
Hey, we're all connected, baby.
That's enough. All right, we'll end it on that. God bless y'all, folks. We'll see you next one.